definitely when the party proposed me as a candidate for the Menteri Besar, having agreed with the other two parties, then they would expect me to perform. Because my name was not just plucked like that, it was actually decided by the party, Parti Islam Malaysia. They convened for a meeting and then they decide among the 6 assemblymen of PAS who is the most suitable to be the Menteri Besar. So obviously the party made a decision and I have to abide by that party decision. I'm the Menteri Besar of Perak and Perakian, 2.4 million. I'm not the Menteri Besar of PAS, neither and I'm the Menteri Besar of Kelantan, or even I'm Menteri Besar of Keadilan and DAP. I'm the Menteri Besar of Pakatan, Rakyat, for the Perakian. Which means that whatever good things coming from other states, whether Pakatan Rakyat or whether BN, then if it's suitable to Perak, then I will adopt it. You know? But if it's not suitable to Perak, then no, I shouldn't, because I understand the composition of Perak is different from the other states. Okay, so that's the reason why more so for me to be more tolerant and more considerate. So I cannot just adopt anything that I felt that the party is doing quite okay in some other areas, then I felt that automatically it should be okay in Perak. No, it does not mean that. Okay, so I have to repolish, I have to reconsider it, I have to review certain policies as well as certain implementation carried out in other states, particularly PAS ruled states. So it has to be modified when it comes to Perak. So for the last 3 months, you know, we have adopted 1 or 2, but not quite the same as in Kelantan, right? The reason being that, the reason being our composition is completely different from Kelantan, from Kedah.
So the idea of passing any morality law does not come.
No, that's not arise. That's not arise at all. That's not arise.
Okay. In your words, what is your benchmark for performance? Which party manifesto would you refer to? There are 3.
Okay. In fact, there are 2 to be exact. Because prior to the election, there are only 2 manifestos. One is belonging to the AP, the other one is BA. As soon as we formed the coalition government and the People's Alliance, we combined both of that manifesto, which we don't call it manifesto at the time, we call it as tawaran, offer. Okay? Now, we have combined that 2 manifestos together, and we are able to implement maybe 4 of them. Right? So it's not out of 10, I think. So it's really not difficult for us, because some of the offers that we actually made under BA was also offered under DAP. For instance, land titles. DAP had the same opinion, we had the same opinion. And then, for instance, like giving 30% for the committee members of the PBTs to outsiders, apparently BA also had that same opinion. So we just married them together because they are coincidentally the same. Yeah?
Do they complement each other?
They very much complement each other.
Okay.
That is why we are able to move now for the last 33 months without any hindrances. It has been very, very healthy and very good, you know.
Okay. You spoke about your achievements just now during the briefing outside. I would like to ask you about, maybe very briefly, what do you think are your mistakes over the past 90 days?
Well, many of the mistakes that we did were mistakes we did not, for instance, we did not really articulate from the legal standpoint, you know. Okay, some of the words that we say would have certain litigation. So those were the mistakes that we admitted. Okay. For instance, we were saying that what was sometimes, you know, when we mention to the public that we wanted to abolish the notices to compound. We mentioned summons. Okay, that has got 2 different meanings. Okay, but people will always used to harp on that one. Okay, look, and say the state is going to abolish summons. That's not true, because you cannot abolish summons, because that's only gone to the courts. You know, so we actually did that initially, but we were advised and corrected. Okay, so we stand to be corrected. Okay, that's what I meant.
3 candidates for Menteri Besar, and then you left it to the Sultan to choose.
Yeah.
Is that a mistake, or is that some sort of achievement?
I think that was incredibly very, very healthy. Yeah, that was incredibly healthy, because it was some elements of justice. Every party was given a chance to propose their candidates, and we leave the prerogative to the highest. Okay.
Okay. Right. Last question. In your opinion, after you have toured practically every district, are the Malay Muslims worried about a non-Muslim dominated government, state government? Are they worried about a non-Muslim dominated state government?
Because there was this demonstration by some Muslim NGOs right after.
Those were
Early stage, anyway.
those were actually orchestrated by our enemies in the previous government. But the 9 districts that I went, okay, I can tell you there has never been a situation where 3 races came together and heard our speeches. You can find in all these town halls, they were packed. And you can see Indians there, Chinese there, and Malays there, for the first time in the Perak history. And I can tell you, those areas which are majority Malays, for instance, I went to Perak Tengah, okay. During the question and answers, there was no question at all pertaining to that we are a stooge or nothing. Yeah. Nothing of that sort. Which means that as far as the Malays in Perak are concerned, they began to feel that the 3 months experience that we have now is giving a fair treatment to all the races. Yeah, right. I have been thronged by many, I would say, BN supporters, yeah, or UMNO supporters, or UMNO members. They came here and gave assurance to me that we never realized that the 3 government could do that, you know. And they are giving us that confidence. And I can tell them they are not actually PAS, they are not Keadilan, and they are not DAP. But they are Malays from over the state coming. Okay? Because I can recognize PAS members, I can recognize Keadilan members, I can recognize DAP. So which means as far as the Perak Malays are concerned, they are beginning to see the beauty of the alliance, People's Alliance governments. And I got a lot of messages in support of that. Yeah. And in our traumas, you know, I can tell you the first trauma that we did together with Waibinga Komeng, with Keadilan and PAS, in the first history of Perak Stadium, I tell you, was packed. Have you seen that in YouTube?
No, is that the picture?
Yeah, you can see that.
You said that no question about whether you are a stooge. Are you saying that you are? Because it's prior to your appointment, you said that everything is going to be consensus based. So are you confident that you can play the role as first among equals in Perak? You said that you were not a stooge.
There was no question to that effect from the Malay community. Therefore, what has been pointed out to me is that please proceed with whatever you have done good for the state for the last 3 months. Okay, those were words coming from the Malay communities.